great senior ministry, but and Reverend Judy's here, I'm going to pick on Reverend Judy. They come looking for a great senior ministry, and I say, oh, well, go to Reverend Judy. She's the advisor to our Golden Age ministry. And they go to her, she said, child, we ain't doing nothing up in here. Then that missional component goes lacking. You have to make sure that you have great components and programs for whatever the ministries are. If you have a Sister Roseanne, I'll pick on her, she's sitting right next to Reverend Judy, a great health ministry. If you don't ever have a health fair, if you don't have the programming for what people are looking for, then it goes lacking. So what we have to do is, and this is a great start, we have to start asking ourselves, what are people looking for in church? And are we providing that for them? What do people want? And are we providing that for them? Natural evangelism. There's a book entitled Sticky Church, and it's a great book. I recommend anybody to pick it up, by Larry Osborne. He states that the most common form of evangelism is called come and see, where you invite somebody. Under this approach, persons are invited by friends to attend worship. It takes place whenever someone shares a spiritual need or interest. We respond by inviting them to attend a Bible study, attend a church service, or hang out with Christian friends. Meaning, come to our family and friends night, we're having a family fun night. You invite people to come and see. Come and see method is great, but there must be follow-up to the come and see method. You can't just invite someone to come and check your church out. You got to do something after you do that. It's the follow-up. Natural follow-up is easy to follow, easy follow-up to process, because the person that does the inviting simply follows up with their family and friends by inviting them to the event. This approach gives a personal touch as well as collective responsibility. So, come and see. You invite them to come and see. When they come to church, you got to follow up. You greet them. I'm glad you came to church. How did you like the worship service? Would you like to come back again? Follow up. It's natural. Natural assimilation. The assimilation to church is the bridge between the event and the invitation a new member or convert feeling as though they are part of and want to be a part of the church. So the assimilation is the bridge between the follow-up and coming to be a part. Friendly usually doesn't have to be reminded to us. Friends usually don't have to be reminded to assimilate with friends. Friends assimilate with friends. And so if you are friendly in church, from the time someone comes in the door to the time that they leave, they will learn to feel like they're a part of that local congregation. So it's important that we have the greeters on the door. They have to be friendly. But when we go into the church, the usher has to be friendly. Then the person they sit next to needs to be friendly. The person that does the welcome needs to be friendly and have a good spirit. And then after service, if you're sitting next to a visitor, you ought to turn to them and say, I'm glad you came to worship with us. Please come again. And so they feel friendliness throughout the door, because friends assimilate to friends. If it's a friendly environment, you say, you know what? That was such a warm, friendly church. I think I would like to come back there again. Several of the persons who came to visit with us said to me personally, they felt a warm spirit of friendliness in the house of the Lord. And They've received it as the minister preaching. Reverend Vera, when she came for women's, the prayer breakfast, she said, oh, everybody was so warm and friendly, she would join our church. Reverend Barbara Groover said, oh, the people were so warm and friendly. I just love coming to Bethel. She loved the church. But we have to make sure that not just people who are performing a preached word, but even someone who's just visiting still feels warm. So that's natural assimilation. The last part is moving from membership to discipleship. This is what, Brother Washington, you were talking about here. Under the guidance and the direction of our bishop, Bishop Gregory G.M. Ingram, Episcopal Supervisor Reverend Dr. Jessica Kendall Ingram, we have been encouraged as a district to move our goals from membership to discipleship. So, scripturally, we grasp the concept and we must go reach all nations. From the word go, we must go reach, go teach, go baptize. We talked about this. As we teach, each member should evaluate our individual relationship with God. We ask to relate that relationship deepens as we take responsibility to go and spread the gospel and make more disciples. These new disciples follow the same process so that the body of Christ grows and we become kingdom builders. Now, the First Episcopal District has embraced a program from evangelism to assist in the Operation Andrew outreach as our membership goals. And so all that means is the bishop has assigned each annual conference with a certain number of people, souls that we are to go out and reach to bring them into the body of Christ. So each local church has a membership goal that we are to reach for the conference year. The goals for the New England Conference are 475. That's the number for all total churches, 475. But if you know that most of our churches, we got 8 churches that have over 400 members, but then we have 15 churches that have less than 200 members. So it's graspable for us to meet our goal, and we here in Bloomfield, we reach the goal by the people that come down the aisle, but we fail because we don't keep them. And so we've got to keep them in the church. So for instance, our goal is probably around 65 to 75. That's a good number on paper, but if you don't keep those 75, then we have an issue. And so we have to go and bring in kingdom builders. We are reminded of the mission of the AME Church. And so the mission is, and I put it here for you, to minister to the spiritual, the intellectual, the physical, the emotional, and environmental needs of all people by spreading Christ's liberating gospel through word and deed at every level of the connection and in every local church of the African Methodist Episcopal Church shall engage in carrying out the spirit of the Free African Society of which the members have evolved. That is to seek and save the lost, serve the needy through a continual program of preaching the gospel, feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, housing the homeless, cheering the fallen, providing jobs for the jobless, administering to the needs of those in prison, hospitals, nursing homes, asylums, mental institutions, senior citizen homes, caring for the sick and the shut-in, the mentally and the socially disturbed, encouraging thrift and economic advancement, and bringing people back to church. So there is much opportunity for evangelism ministry. That's our goal. And so what we should do is look at